Hey parenting junkies, present play is coming up. Find out more by visiting the link below this video. The Parenting Junkie. Hey guys, welcome back to the Parenting Junkie, the place to go to love parenting and for parenting from love. In today's video, why you shouldn't discipline your 1-year-old and what you should do instead. Stay with me. Today I'm reading a question from Isabel and she writes, Hey Avital, I'm a first-time mom from Australia and baby boy is 11 months old. He has been a super curious baby from day one. Now that he is crawling, he wants to play with everything, including non-play items like the TV screen or mobile phone or power cords. I know he is curious and wants to learn, but how do you discipline at this age since they don't really understand much yet in terms of words? So much confusing information out there when disciplining a baby of this age group. Also, I love your channel. Thanks for all the great mama info, lovely Isabel. If, like Isabel, you have also ever been confused by all the conflicting parenting advice out there, give this video a like and give me a love in the comments. I'll be the first to go because I know I have. Now you'll want to stick with me till the end because I've created a free cheat sheet for Isabel and for all you baby mamas out there. Isabel, this is a great question and one that I get very often because it is so confusing. There are so many methods out there of how to train our babies, how to discipline 1-year-olds. Recently, I was told about the blanket method, which scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. Basically, it's a whole group of thousands of people who are following this method where you put a blanket on the floor and every time the baby gets off the blanket, they get hit. So they learn by Pavlovian association that getting off the blanket equals pain, better stay on the blanket. And this is how parents are keeping their 1-year-old sitting on a square blanket. This type of thing frightens the living daylights out of me. The idea that we need to frighten our children and use fear-based and pain-based approaches to discipline and train them into certain behaviors just for our convenience doesn't make any sense to this heart and this mind. My own perception, Isabel, is that 1-year-olds need no discipline. 1-year-olds' entire job in the world is to explore. That's what they're designed to do, and that's what they need to do. Every time I read about a method that suggests spanking, yelling, shouting no, I get sad because I realize that it's all rooted in fear that we can't keep our children safe and that we can't create an environment for them to be free in, and that we need to somehow induce a fear in them of us and our reactions in order to control and manipulate their behaviors in ways that suit us better. For me, that price is way too high and completely misguided. I don't want my 1-year-old not to touch certain things because he's afraid of me or afraid of pain. I want him not to touch certain things because they're dangerous for him or inappropriate. And so it is my job as a parent to remove those things from his reach. 1-year-olds need to explore, climb, touch, grab, put things in their mouth, smell, roll over. They need to use their bodies to learn. Movement is learning for them at this age. And that's why the entire culture of strapping them into a bouncy seat for hours or into some kind of exercise that they are kind of put in and they can't get out of is not developmentally appropriate in most cases, at least not for any length of time. Their job is to explore and our job is to keep them safe. It's that simple. Rather than manipulating your child, learn to manipulate the environment. The very word discipline is from the word disciple, i.e. student. It's about learning. Well, what do we want our 1-year-olds to learn? Do we want them to learn that the world is a dangerous place, that they'll be hurt and yelled at by the caregivers and their attachment figures in their lives if they do certain arbitrary things? Or do we want them to learn that they will be protected and be put in a safe space where their caregivers watch over them and make sure that they are free to explore and to develop in the way that nature intended? Personally, I believe that the longer and deeper a child feels safe and that they are in a safe relationship and a safe environment, the better equipped they will be in adulthood or as they mature to deal with things that are not safe. In other words, when children learn that everything's dangerous, like I'll get hit if I leave my blanket, they live with a perpetual sense of fear about how the world works. They don't ever have that safe haven, that safe space, and that safe relationship so that they can go from there with confidence into the world and take reasonable risks. They don't learn to assess those things themselves or get real feedback from the world because it's all been manipulated to continuously give them doses and hits of cortisol and fear in their brains. I think we need to go the opposite route, to create an environment where children themselves feel empowered, feel safe, feel that their interests, their needs, their urges, their desires are supported by the people who love them. So please do not think of disciplining a 1-year-old who's doing exactly what they need to be doing. Look, any kind of fear-based discipline has some serious drawbacks. Number one, it makes your relationship based on fear. Ask yourself, how does introducing fear between you and your baby help support the secure attachment between you? If you're not sure how to answer this, ask yourself, how would introducing fear between you and your partner help support the secure attachment between you? If you were afraid that when you did the wrong thing or spent too much money, your partner would punish you or hurt you, would that help you feel closer and safer with that person? Number two is it might not even work. You could be slapping a baby, yelling at a baby, shouting no, and they might still do those things that are unsafe. They might still go to the cable cords or to the TV or to the glass on the table. And so now you've taken the route of discipline, but you still haven't kept your baby safe. But you are responsible for your child's safety. So using fear doesn't guarantee that they stay safe. Number three, it's likely to create pushback. A child who is constantly restricted in their exploration is likely to respond in one of two ways. The first is to push back, to become extra rebellious, to seek risk at ever greater costs. Especially as they go into toddlerhood and become a little bit more physically able to, they might not be able to assess risk properly, and they might actually seek out ways to push the boundaries further and to finally claim that freedom and liberation and independence that they've been trying to gain. Number four is the opposite pushback might happen, where a child might retreat and become even more timid and afraid of the world around them. If we keep using fear and try to discipline a 1-year-old, then they are going to get the message that the world is in fact a dangerous place, that they shouldn't try for whatever it is, to walk, to run, to jump, to go on the monkey bars, because the adults in their lives have shown them that the world is dangerous and that they will be punished even through the relationship itself if they push themselves a little further and try to explore. But finally, and worst of all, is the fact we've already established, which is that it doesn't respect his developmental need to explore. So what can you do instead? Instead, you can create a yes space. You can baby-proof. You can create an environment at home that supports his development. You can put things away that are dangerous for him and make a space that, if you had to, you could go and take a shower and completely not be there to watch him, and he would still be safe. The idea of a yes space is to liberate both parent and child from constantly saying no and controlling each other. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying no from time to time and setting limits in that way. It's fine and it's necessary. But for the most part, we want our lives to be yes lives. And if you want more on this, watch my video on how to turn your no into a yes and why that's so important. And if you want more on how to create a yes space, I've created a free PDF download for you with 10 steps to creating an excellent yes space for your young baby or even your toddler. Having a yes space creates a great opportunity for a baby to really respect their independent exploration and their independent play. Now, there are several things I recommend having in this yes space, so I highly recommend that you go and download that PDF to really work through it and craft a beautiful yes space that serves your baby's developmental needs. And also you'll find that it will serve you so well. It's so liberating to know that you can put your baby somewhere and that they'll be safe. You can go and do some cooking, some laundry, a shower, read a book, whatever it is, and not be all over them like white on rice. You can get that absolutely free by clicking the link below, and I would love to see pictures of your yes space, so share them with me in our Facebook group, Love Parenting with Avital. I also recommend watching my video about RIE. RIE is a philosophy about how to care for babies that was developed by Magda Gerber, and that is where the yes space concept comes from, and a lot of other great insights on respecting a young baby's development and their needs. Now, I just want to say to all the baby mamas out there, now is the time to cultivate a deep sense of independent play in your child. I hear from parents all of the time with slightly older children how much they wish they had started this approach earlier. If you start supporting a safe yes space and independent play in your 1-year-old at this stage, you will reap the benefits, and so will your child for years to come. If you want to learn more about how to support deep, immersive, imaginary, independent play, even from the youngest of ages, first of all, you can check out my free video on how to encourage independent play, how to get your kid to play alone. And also, I warmly invite you over to check out Present Play, which is an online community center and very extensive library of videos and resources, not to mention the actual community aspect, which brings parents from all over the world together to prioritize deep play in our children. It's not impossible to get on that bandwagon later, but it does become a little bit harder once bad habits are entrenched. Keep on loving parenting and parenting from love, because your kids need you almost as much as you need them. Bye! If you're looking for a supportive community of like-minded parents, I warmly invite you to join our Love Parenting with Avital Facebook group. Plus, head on over to theparentingjunkie.com and sign up for email updates so I can gift you my free PDF guide, 10 easy steps to transform your home into a play-inducing haven. The Parenting Junkie.